Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go over how to make a coffee sugar scrub. Now I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. One of them is going to be using tallow and one of them is just going to be using coconut oil. So if you have a preference or you're not able to find tallow, you can still make this amazing coffee scrub. Let's get into the recipe. There are a few ingredients that you're going to need, and one of them is spent coffee. What's really nice about this recipe is it uses grounds that you've already used for coffee, so you're actually eliminating a lot of waste. I'm going to show you how I dry out these coffee grounds, and then we will get into the recipe. So we need to grab our coffee grounds. We want these spent coffee grounds. First, I'm going to show you how to make the coconut oil based scrub because this one you don't have to do any double boiling. It's just adding all the ingredients and going. This recipe is working in parts, so you can scale it up or scale it down depending on how much you are looking to make. I'm not looking to make a whole bunch today because I like to have small amounts on hand, but if you are looking for larger quantities, scale up as you need. So for this recipe, it's going to be 1 part of each of these ingredients. So today I'm just gonna fill up one of these tiny mason jars. Again, I just like the small amounts. Oops. Today I'm doing 1/8 of a cup as my parts. So I'm going to be doing 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar. You can do brown, you can do white, you can do any kind of sugar that you want. This is for the exfoliating properties. Next, we're gonna go in with 1 part of your ground spent coffee. Now, remember when you're doing this, you wanna make sure that the coffee is nice and small because it will end up going down your drain, and you definitely do not wanna be plugging anything up. Finally, we're going to add in 1 part of coconut oil. Now this scrub is going to be a body scrub. It's not a face scrub. If you watched a few videos back where I talked about my whipped tallow, I went over the fact that there are comedogenic oils and there are non-comedogenic oils. Basically, the comedogenic scale will tell you how likely something is to clog up your pores, and coconut oil is high on the comedogenic scale. So if you were to use it on your face, it could clog up your pores, which we're not interested in. Coconut oil is, however, really good for dry skin or for scars, because again, that is thicker skin that can handle the moisture. Keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. This is just all stuff that I have learned along my skincare making journey. If you're worried that coconut oil is going to clog up your pores, try using a different oil, a sweet almond oil, a jojoba oil. Those are very low on the comedogenic scale. If you're going to be doing this recipe like I am, you're going to need a liquid oil or something that is very soft at room temperature because we are not boiling this today. So we're going to measure out 1 part of coconut oil. I accidentally dropped mine in the coffee grounds. Whoops. Now we're just going to add in our coconut oil and we're going to give it a good mix. Now at this point, you could add a little bit of essential oil in here to make it smell. You could do a coffee essential oil, or really anything that you feel would go very nice with coffee. I'm not going to do that today because I think the coffee gives off enough of a scent. So we're just going to take your scrub and scoop it into your container. And there you have your coconut coffee scrub. I'm just going to utilize the stuff on the spoon and show you what this is like. You can see that the coconut oil melts pretty quickly, and it is quite exfoliating. Of course, if you are using gloves, making sure that you're changing them throughout. I'm always using fresh gloves. You just can't tell they're the same color. And then you can go ahead and rinse this off. Now we're on to the second coffee sugar scrub recipe. This one is going to be utilizing tallow as the base. So we're going to work in parts again. It's 1 part sugar, 1 part coffee, 1/2 part tallow, and 1/2 part olive oil. Again, you can swap out this olive oil for any liquid oil that you want. Sweet almond, jojoba, castor oil, Whatever you find works best on your skin type. Again, we're going to be making this small jar here, so we're just gonna work in smaller parts. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of my coffee infused tallow. If you missed that recipe, I will link it in the description box below, or you can check it out here. It is a gooder, and this stuff smells amazing. You could also use any of the other infused tallow recipes for this, and it would be so good, especially the vanilla. Next, we're going to be adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 1 and 2. If you are looking for a stronger coffee smell without having to add essential oils, you can add your ground coffee in now and leave it on the double boiler on low for 5 to 6 hours. Or you can follow my infusion recipes and do it in your dehydrator or in your crock pot. If you're not that worried about the scent and you just want this done quickly, you're going to take this over to the double boiler and we'll get started now. When making your double boiler, you want to make sure that your pot is smaller than your bowl. This is actually almost too small to put onto this pot. If I bring this to too hard of a boil, it's going to come over and into your tallow, which you absolutely do not want. If you get any water in here, this is going to spoil way faster. Because of that, we're going to set it at a very, very low temperature and just bring it to a gentle warmth. We're not going to be bringing it to a boil today. Okay, now you're going to take this out and set it off to the side to cool. Keep in mind it's going to be warm, so be using oven mitts. Now we're going to let this sit for a couple of minutes. Don't want it boiling hot or your sugar will melt. You can see that this is nice and hard now. We are going to take our hand mixer and mix it up. I'm just gonna pop this in the fridge quickly because it is not quite as hard as I originally thought. This looks so much better. So let's whip it up. Okay, so once it's light and fluffy like so, you're going to add in your 1/4 cup of sugar. So this is a full part of sugar, if you'll remember, and this can be white or brown sugar. Scrape down the edges. When you're making such a small batch like this, it's definitely tricky to get it all incorporated in one go. You're going to definitely want to scrape down those edges. And then we will be adding 1 part spent coffee grounds. Give them a quick mix first so we don't spew them everywhere. Oh, you should smell this. It smells so good. Just like fresh morning coffee. And there you have it. Look at how fluffy and amazing that looks. Okay, so now we're gonna take it and we'll scoop it into our container. That was the perfect amount. Look at these 2 scrubs. They are beautiful. They smell amazing. I cannot wait to use them. I quickly wanted to go over how I actually use them because if you get water into them, they spoil. So what I do is I will have my scrub with me in the bathroom and I just take a small amount on my spoon, whatever I think I'm going to be using that day, and bring the spoon with me into the shower. Yes, I have a dedicated shower spoon because nobody is close enough to share a spoon like that. But yeah, anyways, I just take this amount into the shower with me, utilize it. If you need more, you can go back in. But the most important thing is making sure you do not get any water into your scrub. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you more than you know. If this video helped you, please consider giving it a like and consider subscribing. It really helps support my channel. If you want the information and the recipe, click the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you more than you know. Take care.